Good morning. Welcome to Satsang. Welcome to Satsang to hear again and again, or to know that what is real nature is the substratum of everything. And from there appears forms and names, and disappear forms and names. So you can be struck by that, or you investigate. And the investigation will be towards to see whatever you know, whatever you experience, or whatever you feel, to see that it's not permanent, it goes on changing. That if you can describe whatever, it is becoming your object, and so you are the subject. So who are you, in fact? So, yeah, that's it. And of course, the mind, which is so used to master a life, needs to, it's not, there are exceptions of course, but needs to hear again and again. And at some point it becomes obvious. It is obvious. And all other talks, it's about the manifestation, the expression of that itself. So, not to be confused by temporary aspects with what one is of a great blessing. And it's given to everybody. You don't need qualification for that, you just have to want it, to want to see it, to realize it. That's it. And the fact to realize what sustains everything surely gives peace of mind, let's say, because whatever search you may have in this manifestation, you know the nature of it. It has no more the charge to be solved or to attain, even if as an individual you want to do so. So I would say it ends the anxiety of the disappearance or the death that one can have. Any question? Anything you want to hear more? Welcome. Yeah. Hey.
I thank you for. I want to expose a belief
Yeah.
I have,
Okay.
and the belief is that you could say my inner shadows, my trauma, my reactivity, my protecting patterns, my habits
Yeah.
are an obstacle.
They
And
are an obstacle if you believe that you are bound to them. So you have to ask yourself, okay, but what's bound? What's bound? Probably the person you know, this body, if it is physical, traumas or whatever, or emotional or conceptual, but it belongs to an individual person. Mm? So if I can speak about that, am I that? No.
no, yeah.
In fact, I appear like that, but I am not that. Mm. So, if you know that, then you can still feel and repeat things, but it's very different because it will not be like the same search. You may search, okay, I prefer to be better, and why not? Sure. But then you know this is in the movie, in the manifestation. It's no more that deep search of who am I, in fact. Is it all absurd? Is there a God? Those questions drop. So, or be struck by what is said or what you already read, and remind yourself again, see that you confuse yourself with objectifications, with persons, with a role, and then give yourself a stop when you see that. Just stop where you are. Investigate, and never forget also to keep quiet after investigation, because where you are left is what you are, but no more as an individual. It's not personal. Mm? So where is the belief now? Mm? You see, because we think the solution is in the identity, we keep the concept of the identity. In fact, release that, because it will never be there will be never a satisfying solution there, because everything is impermanent and changes. And of course, if you look at your life, it's an individual life. So you start to ponder, oh, I am like this, like this. No, I appear this way. I appear that way. And if you like, that's your right also. Why not? You want to change a few things and so on. But always correct yourself. I appear so, or it looks like so. In fact, I am always myself. But that will not be known. That will not even be experienced. And that's why my master was indicating, like, keep quiet. He didn't address that to someone. He said, keep quiet where you are left when you discarded all your beliefs. Then that becomes self-evident. It's a kind of self-evidence which is not owned by anybody. And when the mind reappears, it's not covered. It is, of course, you are busy with the mind, so you are busy with objects, but you have not lost who you are. In that way, you can say it's like a movie. You have not lost who you are. That has to be really seen. And if you still speak of losing or not yet, and so know that you speak of somebody, of the one who has been born, the one you think you were in the past. So that applies not to what you are. What you are cannot be touched by anything. It's not even diminished if you have this experience of I lost myself, or I've not yet realized myself. It's not touched by those experiences.
I see there's a lot of fear and a lot of avoidance to connect to a certain pain, a very deep pain.
Mm-hmm.
I see it, but I'm dragged very fast into it again.
Yeah.
And I look for distractions in the outside, and I
Okay.
can't connect it.
As soon as you see that, it happens, but as soon as you see that, where are you? You laugh first. You see the peace which is mentioned sometimes um, about what is, it is doesn't mean that the manifestation will always be at peace. Manifestation is dual. There will be um, movements. There will be movements in so many directions. So satsang is just to remind you, don't confuse yourself with what you experience or with what you see. You can only experience and see the expression of that, not purely what you are. And when I say pure, it's not in the sense of impurity. It's just nakedly who you are. So, yeah, remind yourself again and again. Why not? Even that may vanish one day. And if it doesn't vanish, it doesn't matter. You know who you are at any time.
Good morning.
Hi.
I've been searching for the truth, the reason of the reason of the reason, and how to apply that or how to play with that afterwards. Not to play, but to how to master it or influence things. Knowing that
You forget that idea.
just forget it.
Forget that idea.
I will.
Yes. Thank you. So I would repeat, be vigilant up to your last breath, as said my master, means whenever a suggestion comes, whenever something rises in you, know immediately that's the mind. And then you are free to follow or not, but then you know also what you are doing. It has nothing to do with what you are. That's all. And there is no exceptions here.
I find it amazing that in this manifestation of the substrate, there are coincidences which are not. And there's a perfect timing of things.
Sometimes.
Like last Friday, me and Linda, we just stayed here late, appreciating nature.
Yeah.
And it just happens that there was a person that was stuck in a ditch.
Yeah.
And it felt that I was able to help her out by just pushing the car. So that's where my mind starts thinking about the fact that if we hadn't been there, she could have had helped eventually by calling a towing truck and whatnot. But we were there, and it helped me have trust in my own capabilities, still in this manifestation.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was able to help her out of the ditch. So there was kind of a divine, quote unquote, divine coincidence and timing. So then that's where, how to, I mean, it's amazing, it's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
So what I'm trying to say is that can we harness that? Can we just be always in the zone, Because on the on the other side, let's say great masters like Krishna, Yeshua, they were there in this manifestation,
Yeah.
and they impacted the world, the conscience of people. So I mean that some manifestations, some people are
Yeah.
here to have a role, to impact others, to help others. And these masters I'm talking about, they embodied in some way
Yeah.
the divine, and they were totally in abandon. They are totally abandoned themselves. So, is that our potential? Should we all aspire to do that, to become that, to become a?
But you see, why we still remember them? It's because they all the time showed you are the substratum. All of you are like me. I am the substratum of all things, and all the rest is a play. Now you start to speak of, is there a more perfect play than another play? There I don't go there, you know. Who knows what is, it's so relative, the perfection in this manifestation, according to anyone. I would not go there. I would just be trying to be vigilant to give moments to what I am, rather than to try to be the best in this manifestation. It will come anyway, but not as you think, probably. So, because if you start to be busy how to perform, how to live here, very complicated. Who can have any answer? Only who you are decides in the end, you see. So it was a nice moment. Doesn't mean that it will always show up this way. But it doesn't matter also, in fact. Okay? Yeah. You need those masters, they had a natural authority to tell, to convince, don't be lost in this manifestation. You are also, in fact, you are the substratum, as I am. So that makes them the master. Their life, yeah, so many legions also, so many things, embodiment, then everybody is an embodiment of that, because this manifestation is an expression of that. So some embodiment people, some incarnations, they look more like one ideal one has in himself than another. In that way, you say is more embodied with the truth, but it's very relative. Those considerations are very relative. In this world, and that is the misunderstanding, I think, some people are, let's say like that, more saintly than others. And when I say more saintly, it's like you describe, maybe they just help at the proper moment, maybe this happens. They are more available for others, they have more charisma, they are saintly people. But it doesn't mean the one who is less saintly or not even saintly is not himself, is not the self. You see? So it's very relative, and it is not in the hand of anybody. If you are, for example, a bandito, a gangster, and suddenly he says, I want to be a saint, maybe he can. St. Francis, after all, he was a playboy, and he became a saint. But some people try hard and they fail because it's not natural to them. This has to be natural. But it doesn't mean that they are more what is than others. That has to be clear, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Ganga.
Hi.
It seems to me that people are just trying to do what is right for them, the right thing for them. And I wanted to know if is there such a thing as true right thing or dharma or that? And
You see, we are in the context of satsang. So for me, all those considerations will not help you at all to solve this. Who am I, in fact? They are just questions about ethics, about how to live in this life the best and all that. Satsang is not to take care of that.
my question was a bit further. If one is not busy with the mind,
Yeah.
will that happen?
You are busy with your mind, so you allow this question to invade you, so whatever rises will lead you and will make you remain in the manifestation. Just know that. That's why sometimes it is indicated prior. What you are, in fact, is prior the movements, prior the rising, prior even the rising of I am born, I am a human being, I am a witness, and so on. And prior, when one says prior, is when is already in the movement, otherwise you are it already. You have not to go prior. You already are it. Those sensations, you know, those experiences of in and out are just the mind. Because we believe we were out or somewhere, we have to go in. But those are the stories of the mind. Actually, what is regardless of experiences and suggestions of the mind. Yeah. Surely, sometimes we need time so that the mind understands this, let's say, subject. It needs time, not to always slip in some belief, in some new belief. But once you spot the mind, you spot the mind. And it's not that the mind has to change, it's that you have to honor from where you can spot the mind. And there, you keep quiet. Yeah. Do you want I speak of something special? Tell me. Or you want to bring me a sentence which you like? It's always inspiring.
Hello. Just to confirm or clarify,
Yeah.
my understanding is that all light, visions, intuition, all of that is also part of
The mind.
the mind.
Yeah, but don't forget also that the mind is the expression of that. It's limited because of its form and its name. So there is a limited vision too because of that. Don't make two realities, you know. That's the danger. Of course, we negate the reality we know to be able to see something else. But when you see something else, you see that there are not two realities. Because that's very dangerous always with this question of, oh, this is an illusion, and so on. Yes, it is true from where you are. It's like a dream, so it has not really a substance because it changes, it's subject to time and so on. But this body-mind belongs to that reality, illusory reality. But in fact, it's the expression of that. It's the expression of that. So what? Yeah, I just wanted to say that. But you cannot see that unless you see it conceptually, if you don't first give up your beliefs and your attachments to few experiences or concepts. That's true. Because then you don't leave space to the formlessness of what you are. You see? That's why it's always indicated, throwing you back, if you still search, from where that search came from. And it comes because I rises and I believe that I am someone is real, so all what comes from I is real. But in fact, that is questioned with the question, who am I? Because then you leave all your beliefs behind to be alone with I. And how long can you be with I alone? There you keep quiet. There, that's what you are. And then you see that everything springs and disappears there. That's investigation. Hmm?
So the ones that they say that after death there's nothing, they are right. They don't believe so.
It is called emptiness, you know, but the emptiness as a concept rejects fullness. So it's not even the concept of emptiness. Yes, the mind gets cuckoo. It cannot go there. That's why you can laugh. You see, you are freed from your mind just for now. Yes. When you will catch a thought to tell me, you will not laugh anymore. Mhm.
Hola, bom dia.
Ella.
Um, so on my way here, I had it popped up on my YouTube thing, a little picture of, was like a sadhaka, and in front of him was a little baby Krishna, and out of him came Narayana. And there was, the quote was something like, so before enlightenment, Maya is illusion, and after enlightenment, she's just there out of pure love, comes out of the imagination. And so, but where I really want to go is the difference between the gyan, or the who am I, and the bhakti. And the bhaktas always say that.
You know, it's like a path. It doesn't matter the path. Because in jnana, okay, you ask, who am I? And it brings you where I itself disappears. And in devotion, in pure devotion, you just melt from where the whole play of devotion started. Doesn't matter much which path you take. The important is that the path should not have an object as a goal. And Krishna is blue because it's not an object. It shows it's not an object, you see. It's your own self. It's blue like the depth of the sky. There is no form there, in fact. No dispute about ways. And it's very funny, those who take the path of jnana, investigation, they may have for the first time a tremendous experience of love, and they may speak like a bhakta afterwards, and the contrary is also true. A bhakta who was a bhakta, in the end, he asks, but who am I? I am that itself. And he speaks like a jnani. So, who cares? But surely, in those two paths, let's say, the goal is not to land on any object. And what's an object? It is a form, it's an experience, it's a feeling, it's a concept.
People talk a lot about pure awareness, teachers and such.
Yeah.
So when I was in Tiru, I heard constantly this talk of pure awareness.
Yeah.
And
It becomes a bag, quite a heavy. Yeah.
yeah, but okay, so I felt I resolved this for myself, but I ask you because
What's your question?
my question is, pure awareness must be an expression of oneself, to speak of pure awareness.
Yeah.
But people express it as some ultimate thing, as the self itself.
Yeah.
So my question is, do I get it right that it's an expression of the self, must be to speak of pure awareness? Or is it just a semantic thing where one person uses it in one way and another in another?
Well, if you utter anything, it's true that it's an expression. Now, to point out, if someone asks for it, you eventually can point out in those terms to remove other beliefs or concepts you have. But if you speak of that, of what is, of isness, it's also an expression. It falls immediately into a concept. So that's why it's much better not to speak about it, but to speak of what it is not. But sometimes I myself I say sometimes the substratum, sometimes the self, but for the sake of the expression, probably. But it is always accompanied by the fact that it cannot be known, it cannot be said. Yeah.
So that was what I saw in these satsangs I went to in Tira, is many people were expressing this pure awareness at the same time as talking about something that can't be known. And yet, to me, this seems like a confusion, because they speak of awareness and then that it can't be known. So
So don't worry much about them. Worry about you.
No, but okay. But I was provoked when you said earlier, if anyone brings something that... I thought about it already in the past, but
sure.
it came back.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, surely. My preference is not to name. Can you? How can you be there even to name? I mean, it's like. On top of it, it's very confusing because in the life you can be aware of so many things. And so what? In the sleeping state, you assume that there is awareness there, but who knows what? You sleep. You can eventually, when you wake up, say, there was nothing there, there is nothing there. I slept very well, then there is nothing there. But it's not also nothing. Whatever we can negate, let's negate it. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
It feels like inside me there's some fear. If I watch the thoughts and I want to go behind that, it's like, I don't know what this is. It's a fear of...
The fear of the unknown, probably.
Yes.
Yeah. But you know, you are already what you search. So why do you take so much, why do you take it so seriously, all this game around? You already are it. So the search and the fear of the unknown, all that is in a movie. All that is in a movie. It's like, where is the problem, in fact? You already are that. And it will be obvious to you, or let's say it will be obvious when you don't listen to anything which rises. So just for a moment, don't make it a practice or a state, but when the fear comes, you can ask, oh, you see, I see a fear. So from where I see the fear, there I keep quiet. Or you ask, who has the fear? You may reply, I, the one, this which is embodied. But who am I? And that direction leads you where you always have been. The imaginations give fear. You may need some time to hear that whatever your mind suggests, you don't go there. If you want to have a moment of... It's good to have a clear mind about the subject. A clear mind. And then the clarity of mind can also be dropped, you see. Yeah. But what's a clear mind is a mind which will be uncompromising. It will not save any ideal, any attachment in some great experience or whatever. You see? a moment of freedom from all that. To see that you always have been, you have not to search for that. And the play of this movie, it's a play of something else. It's a play with objects. It's a play of, it cannot enter here. It cannot, it's not its nature to, its nature is to play, or to play, to live, to have a life. It is not to solve things in the life. It's who you are is just know that from where this manifestation come and go, that's what is. That's what you search when you search for, but who am I, or what is God, or what do they mean by self? They point out to that you already are. But don't search in objects, don't search it in experiences or emotions or ideas. That's all.
Hi. Previously, when you described the object, it grabbed me very intensely. And now it passed, but now what is intense, that it passed. And for a moment I thought, I don't have this intensity anymore, so wow, okay, this is the peace, but now it's a lack of something as I interpret it.
Yeah, but why do you go to that thought? Because that thought will bring you a frustration or a lack of something, and you will feel so many other things because of that. Why don't you give yourself a moment of not grasping anything which rises? Just to see that, oh, what I heard, it's about this. That's what I am. Instead of jumping immediately to something which rises. That's what we do all our life, isn't it? The search is very particular here, this search, because it goes not, I don't know in English, upstream, go back to the source of the stream. The life is always into that movement, you see. So suddenly you are from where all those streams go out. But you cannot bear it for some reason. You can bear it if you don't take the feeling of unbearable which rises. That's what I say here. Just be very radical with yourself. Otherwise, the thought is always waiting for you, I tell you, always in this life.
So it's only me who can do it.
Tell me, it's only me.
It's only me who can do it, who can be so radical. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. You can be inspired by those who tell you that, but it's up to you, yeah.
Um, how does one, in that keeping quiet, how does one make decisions? Is it by what rises and it's the forces of things, or it's a very earthly
Decisions
question.
are made by somebody. Now that somebody spontaneously makes a decision and doesn't go back to it, we can say it's quite a direct decision. And in the global view, who makes decisions? It looks like it's not much in our hands. But in this, yes, it looks like one makes decisions. Like everything looks like. It looks like I am running in my life. It looks like I am meditating, so I'm quiet. But Satsang tries to show you that all that is still the movie, you see. Even this question is in the movie, so it has to get an answer in the movie. Unless you have this question which throws you back from where you are, because you are in satsang to know that what you are, what is fundamentally, is there anything? Is there anything? So in here, if you have this question, you could ask, but who is asking the question? It's me, obviously, it's the one I know. Who am I? Here applies that question. It can be just said even once. Who am I in fact? And you just go where the question brings you, where the question has a direction, you see? Mm-hmm. You can do it now? Mm-hmm. Yes? And where you are left, I would keep quiet. And from here you see that you see much better what I mean by mind. Whatever rises is mind. Whatever rises is the mind. So in the realm of time and space, in the realm of personal life. So that will go on till your body is alive. It doesn't mean you have to confuse yourself, your real self. What's the background of it for all this? Because once this has been obvious, then you don't search anymore. You will not make practice to be more pure or whatever, more fit, having qualities to be enlightened and all that. All that falls, you see. All that. The life continues otherwise, but all this search and the beliefs around it, it falls. It disappears. Yes, sure.
To some extreme, there's no sense of life. If
You have a moment like that. You have a moment to be freed from the preoccupation of life, yeah.
As I say, before enlightenment, you chop wood, you carry wood. And after enlightenment, you chop wood.
Same.
And that's where I come to a conclusion. Why?
Do you think anybody knows?
The self.
So it's nobody.
I find that that's what makes us want to find a purpose. We love the beauty of life, what the senses. So we want to enjoy it, and that's where things can get complicated.
Yes.
So we go back to the source and we center, or I
Yeah.
center myself and
Yeah.
into the self.
It's no more a center even. Anything more? So, thank you very much.